A reader asks, how does discovery work for hardware products? Okay, before I dive into this, I'm going to first share that 100% of my full-time employee experience was on software products. Probably 95% of my coaching business has been with software teams. So I'm not a deep expert on discovery for hardware products, but I have worked with a handful of teams that did work on software and hardware. I can share a few of the ways they translated the discovery habits in their context. I can also share some additional resources for where you might want to learn more. So the first thing I'll say is prototyping is really grounded in hardware products. So a lot of hardware designers do quite a bit of prototyping. So there is some overlap. I think a lot of hardware designers are already well versed in prototyping to test assumptions. In fact, Tom Chi, when he was at Google, he recorded a video where he talked about how they tested some of the assumptions with Google Glass. I will see if I can track down a link to that video. But I bet if you just search for Tom Chi Google Glass video, it'll come up, hopefully. So I know like a lot of the underlying principles still stay the same. Here's what I can say. I know we can still start with an outcome. I know we can still interview customers and learn about what they're doing today to solve their problems for whatever problems your product is designed to solve. I think the real differences come in when we're testing solutions. And that's because with software products, we have a lot of ways to quickly test and measure. Whereas with hardware products, it might be slower to measure and harder to test. So what I advise people that work on hardware products to do is to think about the underlying principles, and then given your context, how do you instantiate those underlying principles? But I suspect opportunity finding, the way that you define outcomes, those are both going to be exactly the same. And it's really as you're exploring solutions that you're going to have to tailor some of the methods. If you work on a hardware team, or if you have colleagues that work on hardware teams and they're putting some of the discovery habits into practice, do me a favor and leave a comment below. I'd love to learn more about how hardware teams are putting the discovery habits into practice. Thanks.